Hi, my name's Karen McCandless Davis, and along with Jill Corey, I co-authored the book When Love Hurts. Together we're creating this video series. In today's video, we're asking the question, are there different types of abuse? Many people, when they hear that word abuse, think only of physical abuse. Some people, unfortunately, think that physical abuse is the only type of abuse that we need to take seriously. But that's not true. Women have taught us that abuse takes many different forms, all of which have a devastating impact. In our book, we've clustered together the different types of abuse into 12 categories. When we do that, it looks like this. These are the different forms of abuse that we hear from women all the time. Now, if you're watching this video on a small screen, you may find it difficult to see this diagram, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. At the center of the wheel are the words power and control. All the forms of abuse have the same purpose. Abusive men use these different types of abuse in order to maintain power and control in the relationship. Around the outside of the wheel, we see the different categories of abuse. Starting at the top and going to the right, we have intellectual abuse, financial, pets and property, psychological, physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual, spiritual, using children, social abuse, using culture, and emotional abuse. Let's look more closely at the different types of abuse. We'll start with verbal abuse. The examples we have on the wheel are name-calling, swearing, yelling, insulting, being condescending, being sarcastic. So an abusive man uses these tactics to have power over the woman and to control the woman. Using his words as weapons, the man assaults the woman, making her feel inferior, worthless, stupid. If a woman lives with a verbally abusive man, she will start to feel very controlled. She will be cautious about what she does and says because she's afraid of the next verbal attack. Some verbal attacks can go on for hours, and they are brutal. The man says the very things he knows will hurt the woman the most. Now let's look at financial abuse. Financial abuse is any intentional act that deprives the woman of financial security or limits her access to financial decision-making. This might mean the man controlling all the household money, or wasting the money, or running up debt. It might involve the man forcing the woman to account for every dollar she spends. Women have taught us that financial abuse is a very powerful way for a man to control a woman. We all need money to do just about anything. We need money to buy food, to go out for coffee with a friend, to send our child on a field trip. So if a man controls the money, he controls the woman. In my experience, some of the most trapped women are women who are experiencing severe financial abuse. If the woman has been at home raising children, she may not have a career. She may not have the financial means to support herself and her children, so she can't leave. She feels trapped. Or, if a man's created a lot of debt, the woman can't walk away from the relationship without taking half of that debt with her. Financial abuse is a devastating form of abuse, one that often becomes extreme at the time of separation. Women are left vulnerable because their partners refuse to pay child support, for example. Or another common tactic is that a man will tie up all the marital assets so that a woman would have to pay thousands of dollars in legal fees just to get what's rightfully hers. Using the legal system is a common tactic that many abusive men use to hurt and control their partners even after separation. So we've talked about 2 forms of abuse, but there are 12 on this wheel, all equally devastating for women. The power and control wheel is a wheel for a reason. It's not a pyramid. There is no hierarchy. No one type of abuse is worse than another type of abuse. All 12 forms of abuse are devastating for women. In part 2 of this video, I'm going to describe a few more types of abuse, as well as exploring how and why an abusive man might change from one tactic of abuse to another. Why don't you click on part 2 right now?